I'm pretty sure Black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming.
It wasn't enough for Joy Reid to have her meltdowns on MSNBC, on CNN, on these places that she's a host for, but she had to go and do some extracurricular meltdowns after Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election. She's absolutely losing her mind now on TikTok. Oh man, dude, this is just getting better and better. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Shout out to Donald Trump. He hasn't even taken office yet, and it's already been the best presidency of my lifetime. Let's check out this clip here from Paul A. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but it's Joy Reid melting down here on TikTok. Joy Reid continues to spiral. Now she says white people who are thinking about marching against the Trump victory don't invite Black people because they don't care about the Democratic Party and only care about themselves. Joy's divisive and racist rhetoric is only getting worse. Let's check out this clip here from Joy Reid, and then we also have a couple of others to go over as well.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any Black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure Black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think Black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize Black communities, Black businesses, and you know, the Black spaces. But Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Hey, I just want to get
absolutely insane. I mean, it's it's Joy Reid, so what else do you expect? But let's check out some of the replies here, and then we're gonna go look at a couple other Joy Reid clips. Kind of stinks not being relevant anymore, huh, Joy? Shameful. Her hate is compensated and spewed publicly on major news network. It's true. And what's even more shameful is the fact that they just go after races. Like, if you're white, don't invite Black people to marches against Donald Trump. Like, why is it always about race? It's never about policy. It's never anything actually intellectual to talk about. It's always like, white women failed us because they didn't vote the way that we said they were going to do. And also, by the way, they're uneducated, which doesn't mean anything nowadays. All uneducated means is that you didn't go through the indoctrination camp that is college campuses nowadays. So you didn't go get a degree from the propaganda camp. Congratulations. That's it. That's all that matters. That's why. It's nothing to do with being uneducated, as in there's a correlation there to your intelligence. There's zero correlation between education, especially college education, and intelligence nowadays. There's none. If you learned and went through school, in elementary school, you learn how to read and write and know what a vowel is, you know how to add, subtract, multiply. After that point, you being in school does not equate to intelligence at all. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. In fact, if you go to college, it's going to probably make you dumber and in debt. It's pretty, you know, I'm pretty against colleges nowadays, but it's just ridiculous how they make everything about race. And now they're making it out to be the unintelligent or uneducated white women's fault. Anyway, we have a couple of other clips here of Joy Reid absolutely melting down. It's glorious. Like I said, let's check out this tweet here from Andy No. Joy Reid melting down here on MSNBC.
And it's this idea of, I want to be with the side that's waving the biggest flag. I want to fit in. And there is a huge element, to be honest, of anti-Blackness in a lot of this. Jeez. Anti-Black Americanness specifically. And Paola and I have talked about this, that there is a part of that anti-Blackness is a piece of it. Even though Enrique Tarrio, who's the head of the Proud Boys, is a Black Latino, but he's down with white supremacists, down with them. And
if you enjoy content like this, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
This idea that I'm Black, but I'm not Black. I may look Black to you. I may be Black if I'm walking through Bloomingdale's and get followed around. But in my mind, I'm identifying with whiteness, because whiteness means privilege, and it means not being a Black American. This has to be unpacked, because this shift among Latino men is significant. And it says something about where we're going in this country, about whether we can create an appeal. There's also, the last thing I will throw in is the creation of the idea that everything that Vice President Harris was proposing is communism. That is a potent argument for a lot of Latinos.
I don't think that Kamala Harris is a straight communist or socialist, but I do think she's well on her way. And her dad was a Marxist. So I don't think she would have actually implemented anything that would be communist or socialist, but it would have been well on its way, especially in comparison to someone like Donald Trump. You know, there's no question about it. If you come from a country that is socialist, that is communist, and you see someone like Kamala Harris, you start to get flashbacks a little bit. You start to think, okay, that's a whole lot closer to where I just fled from. I probably risked my life to leave a place like Kamala Harris is trying to turn the United States into. Why the hell would I vote for her when there's someone like Donald Trump who is the exact reason he wants to continue to push America in a direction that is the exact reason why I risked my life to come here? Trying to keep the American dream alive, you know, trying to keep the nuclear family alive, all this stuff, man. I don't have to go through. You guys know, everybody out there with common sense knows exactly why these people risk their lives to come here. It's not because of what Kamala Harris wants to turn the country into. It's the exact opposite of what Kamala Harris wants to turn the country into. That's where they fled from. So it makes no sense. They're not white supremacists because they agree with white people, because they agree with the traditional American values, because they fled a country that is exactly what Kamala Harris wants to turn this country into. They fled it, risking their life, so they don't want to elect Kamala Harris, and they get called white supremacist when they're not white. They're coming from Venezuela. They're like Joy Reid just said, the head of the Proud Boys is mixed with Latino and black. He's not white, idiot. He can't be a white supremacist. He's not. Like, it just makes no sense. But none of this ever makes sense with these people. Let's check out this tweet here from Benny Johnson of yet another Joy Reid meltdown.
Yet it was the hip hop and Hulk Hogan generation, the F your feelings latchkey kids who came up on Dynasty, Dallas, and The Apprentice, who were the lone age group that voted in a majority for Trump. A majority of Gen X voted to turn America into an autocracy and to condemn our kids and grandkids to a far-right Supreme Court, probably for the rest of their lives. And it was not just Gen X, because while 91% of black women voted for Kamala Harris, 53% of white women overall voted for Trump, despite the open disrespect and demonization hurled by J.D. Vance and the Supreme Court stripping women's bodily autonomy, courtesy of Donald Trump, who closed his repulsive campaign by dropping the B word on Nancy Pelosi. The breakdown by education was stark. Harris won 57% of white women with college degrees.
The B word is hilarious, by the way. Like, are we children? Did she really just say the B word? Are we 5 years old?
And lost 63% of white women without them. It was also men. Trump won every age group of men, including 60% of Gen X men and 6 in 10 white men. Also Latino men, who, despite the utter disrespect shown by Trump and his promise to deport some of your mixed status families, most of them voted in a 55% majority to make the deportations happen.
I wonder why they would do that. Also, we have this clip here from Kyle Becker of Joy Reid having yet another meltdown on live TV. This one might be the best one of all of them.
Challenge with the idea of how do you interact with people who you know voted for this, right? If you are an LGBTQ person and you know someone in your family voted essentially against your rights, or you're a woman knowing that, you know, this man was calling people the B word, J.D. Vance was literally calling Kamala Harris the trash, and said we're going to take out the trash. I know a lot of black women were incredibly triggered by that. And if you then meet somebody and you know they voted for the people who called you trash, or if you're Puerto Rican, you know, and you know someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question, because, you know, there is a push, I think just a societal norm, that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going to a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, you know, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood, and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually...
Guys, we lost the last election in 2020. You know, whether or not you think that that was a fair election, you know, there was nefarious things going on, we lost that election. Never once did I start to think, what family members can I alienate so I don't get triggered during the holidays? it was kind of just like, oh, damn, that sucks. Anyway, moving on. You know, and it sucked for the next 4 years because we turned out to be an absolute joke of a country. But after, you know, the election, after voting, there's not much we can do. You know, obviously, like, I made videos and a lot of people made videos, and we talked about it on social media, exposing how ridiculous that organization, you know, the government was, the entire government, not just Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but the people who they appointed, you know, the head of the health organization or whatever the hell the position is that Rachel Levine has. One of the most unhealthy looking humans in the history of humanity. And you're trying to tell me that that person is in charge of the health of the country? Like, it's the entire administration. And there's not a single time did I think, and the right wingers really don't do this ever. What family members can I alienate? Do these people deserve my time because they voted for Kamala Harris? Like, I just don't care. If you voted for Kamala Harris, yeah, I think you're kind of stupid, but I'm never going to think, should I alienate this person? Like, no, dude, it's my family or it's my friends. I don't care. You could tell which side is wrong because they're the side that tries to censor everyone on social media. There's a side that has to shun their family members for having a different opinion than them. It's never Trump supporters that are shunning family members, you know. It's only the left wing that does this, and it's because they can't have conversations with people. If they have conversations, they realize they're wrong, and they don't want to come to those realizations. They rather just live in the comforting lie rather than actually accept and confront the uncomfortable truth. That's just the reality of the situation. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these just unhinged meltdowns from Joy Reid on TikTok and on MSNBC, on CNN, all these places. Let me know in the comments what you think about all these meltdowns from all these different news outlets in the comments.